That's not to say that I am opposed to spirituality. Well, know me. I mean, I'm a devotee of Ifa. I rock with spirituality. I recognize that we are higher beings, but I am saying some of the things that we attribute to, quote, spiritual intervention is straight biology. Remember when we talked about the vagus nerve? Remember, I was saying I should do a whole workshop on the vagus nerve by itself because it's just so freaking wonderful, right? It emanates from our ancient brain, from our medulla oblongata, our most ancient portion of our brain. It is responsible for, quote, our gut intuition or our gut feeling. We call it the great wanderer. Why? Because this great wanderer, it doesn't go down the spinal column, right? It comes straight out of the medulla oblongata, passes like a flower through the heart, then through the other major organs of digestion, spans across the small and large intestines like a big, beautiful fan, right? It is our brain sending a direct message to our gut saying, something ain't right, get the hell up out of here. And we ignore it because we, again, have been taught that flesh is insignificant. We should always question ourselves. Why you always pulled around by your heartstrings, all these narratives that have allowed us to accept the insignificance of the flesh. The flesh as this prison, this earthly prison that we're always attempting to escape. Transcendental meditation, you understand? What's the other shit? Excuse my French. You know, the whole thing, even within Abrahamic religions, about how life is meant for suffering because we were born in sin. What does it mean to be born in sin if it's not a condemnation of your mother and her uterus? Yeah. You understand? So we are born dirty, filthy, messed up because our filthy mama, you know, who condemned all of mankind to hell unless we get right with God. You understand? It is the greatest crime played against human beings in general and against women in particular. So, so the vagus nerve is like it's responsible for our survival instincts, what we call our survival instincts. Again, the heart is a feeling organ. It's the first organ that the vagus nerve passes through. It sends out this 6 to 9 foot radius electromagnetic field. Why? Why is it when you're walking somewhere or you are somewhere and you sense something, right? And you're like, oh, it's my imagination. And you turn around and there's some creepy somebody following you. That's not your imagination. That is the 6 to 9 foot widespread span of protection interpreted by the heart, experienced by the heart, and sent to the brain to say, oh, I need to be on alert. That's why you feel it in your belly. You get butterflies in your stomach, you understand, your heart starts beating real fast. So this is biology that we're talking about. And I find myself, because I am an activist, and I do believe in sovereignty, so I do believe in the right for people to identify however they see fit in this life. What I do not appreciate is how even within the context of these discussions, there is this like kind of backhanded, subtle way that the significance of women born female is again demoted, diminished, right? So bleeding, like, you know, there's this whole thing about calling people who menstruate bleeders or menstruators. What a serious reduction of the significance of this particular process that whole religions were based on, centered around this blood that did not require a wound, right? The magic of the blood that appears with no wound, right? So anyway, so the vagus nerve is a part. What I'm talking about is I'm switching back and forth between Chinese and Western medicine. The vagus nerve plays a direct role in this process here. You remember what I told you about the vagus nerve that was all dope and everybody was like, ooh, that unlike men, if a woman experiences a complete severing of the spinal cord, wherever it occurs, she can still experience orgasm because of the connection of the bimouth directly to the brain.